Hello, Leo. Welcome to your February 1st through 15th OK Soul session. I am Marlo if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what is going on for you guys. Literally almost said shapoppin' for the 1st through the 15th of February. So first card out, we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, and I feel the need to say don't quit before the miracle, my friend. Next card that we have is the Three of Pentacles and the reverse. Interesting. So here is the dealio. I feel with my Leos coming into the first part of February coming out of January, I feel there's more or less an energy with you guys. Interesting. It's 2 sevens here. We got the Seven of Cups that came out next. I feel like there's a level of overwhelm here. I feel like you guys have been kind of working on something, but I feel like it's almost like a haphazardly working on something, like kind of like, you know, when you get into, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you get into a groove of constantly working on something and you can kind of lose sight of the goal, where it ends up becoming like mindless busy work. So like once upon a time, there was like this very clear end goal that you were taking strategic action steps towards. And suddenly it's like you consistently doing that. It just became like a pattern, and it's kind of losing sight of why I was doing this in the first place. Excuse me. And more or less in the sense that, how can I say this? It's like you're kind of looking around you and you're seeing all the time, energy, and effort that you're putting into this thing that made sense once upon a time, and it's not really bearing fruit the way that you want. So I feel like there's a part of this, especially going into this Three of Pentacles in the reverse, where it's almost feeling like you need to go back to the drawing board. But I also feel the need to say it goes back to, and I'm going to say a whole scripture here, but it's like without vision, people perish. So it's not necessarily scrapping the whole thing or quitting before the miracle per se. So scrapping the whole thing and going back to the drawing board is needing to, as you know, a wise man once told me, whenever you get lost in life, always go back to the last thing that spirit told you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of that. It's like I feel that you guys being stuck in this groove of doing the thing, either you forgot why you were doing it, or you've lost touch with your why, right? So there's a need to not go back to the drawing board for the particular thing you're working on in general, but it's more or less going back to the heart space of like the why you were doing this in the first place, or revisiting what the end goal is and looking at it strategically to see how far you are from there. Because I feel with the Seven of Cups, it's like it's a level of overwhelm and not knowing. It's like not knowing what to do next, because it's like an element of jumping from one thing to another. And I feel the issue isn't really, okay, wow, yeah. Yeah, okay, Leo, you're not gonna do that. It's like jumping from one thing to the other, because I feel it's oh wow. Okay. It feels like, yeah. I was trying not to just jump into the second week, but to make the first week make sense, I have to. So going into the week of the 15th, we have the Hermit in the reverse. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So what it is that this is saying to me, Leo, like the Hermit in the reverse is my card of repeating past mistakes, right? So like I was saying a few seconds ago, when we talk about like quitting before the miracle and things of the sort, or scrapping the whole thing, is not really so much that the issue is with the project or whatever it is that you're working on or what you're trying to achieve. It's either, and okay, my guys are saying something else. There's some of you who had no end goal at all whatsoever. Like there was no thing. It's like you were doing stuff, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. It's kind of like you were working buku shifts, working overtime, picking up shifts, because your whole thing was that you wanted to make more money. Like, I need more money. But you never said, I'm trying to specifically save $1,300, God forbid, for my emergency fund. Congratulations to you if your emergency fund is just $1,300. But it's like, you know, I'm saving this amount of money for my emergency fund. So I'm working all of this overtime to stack up money to get to this particular amount in my emergency fund. You know what I'm saying? So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. So it's like, instead of having that end goal, there never was one. So you got into the groove of working buku overtime and picking up shifts. And as you're making the money, you were spending it, right? And it wasn't allocated anywhere. And it's like, dang, I'm still broke. But it's the fact that we never set a goal in the first place. Like, it was kind of a thought that you want to have money and, you just want to have money, but there were no specifiers. So that's kind of like how you got into the groove of making the money and spending just as much extra money as you were making. On the other side of this, it could be that, you actually had an end goal that was set, right? And I don't know why. I just heard a whole scenario, but I'm gonna go with it. Maybe somebody resonate with this. It's like the other one would be that you had an end goal in sight where you were working buku because you wanted to purchase a home, and you were in a relationship with a person at the time, and you and this person wanted to buy a house together, right? So you were in the groove of working, and then you and this person broke up, right? So it's like, you have all the money to buy the house, but it's just kind of like, but why? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we've lost sight of the end goal. Like, the whole reason why I was working so hard was to get money to buy this house with my person, and me just by myself, like, this kind of just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do I do now? Right? Or it's like the third option of this is the fact of actually having an end goal to where you're working really hard. Like, you're going to school, getting all these certifications and degrees. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why you started off on that path was because you wanted to open up your own business. But then you got so wrapped up into school and all the certifications and doing little side jobs and things of the sort that you find yourself unhappy, and you totally have lost sight of the fact that you did not get all those certifications to work these jobs, right? It's like you got those certifications for you to open the business, and you've completely forgotten about the fact that you ever wanted, to open this business because you got so caught up in other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I feel with this, where it's a repeating of a past mistake, is I feel that you're kind of throwing, the baby out with the bathwater in a sense. Because it's almost like when this feeling of overwhelm or this confusion or this should be working and it's not working, when that comes over you, it's like your instantaneous thought is like, oh, I need to disengage with this. Like, I shouldn't do this at all. So it's like, screw overtime, screw saving money, screw buying a house altogether. You know what I'm saying? Screw like the business that I wanted to open. And it's like you move on to something else. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel the whole point of this is, and I'm seeing this theme already for all of the signs, it's almost like spirit stopping you mid-stride. So it's like by the 15th of the month, it was the same for Aquarius and for Sag. It's like spirit stops everyone mid-stride where you're about to, fall into the same pattern that you always fall into when this triggering event kind of happens. But it's like midway through, it's like, whoa, like, look at what's happening here. Because I feel if you guys were to do what you've done many times before, which is kind of just move on to the next thing. And I don't feel like this is something you guys are consciously doing. It is a form of self-sabotage, but self-sabotage very much is subconscious, right? It's like if it's not fruitful and it's not growing, then the first, inclination is like, this isn't for me. I shouldn't be here, right? But you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater because, yeah, you may have lost sight, you may have lost passion, your end goal may have changed, but that doesn't mean that all the work that you've done up to this point for this particular thing should just be cast aside. It's like you can still take whatever it is that you've gained from it up to this point and put it in the direction of something else. You know what I'm saying? So I feel with the Six of Swords going into the Three of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles is pretty much saying up until the 15th, it's like this is potentially how this could pan out for you guys if you continue to repeat the way that you have handled, situations similar to this in the past, which is, just throwing everything to the side and then kind of beating yourself up and not feeling like enough. Because I see the same elements in this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse as I see as the in the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. And of course, this is the 1st and the 15th of the month. So it's like how you're starting and how you're ending, right? And once again, and I know we talked about this in January with you guys, for some reason with Leos, it's been like that for a minute, where a lot of the challenges and struggles with, I can't freaking talk, a lot of the challenges and the struggles and the energy that's been surrounding Leos for some time, it's intricately related to finances. It has been for some time now, but it's very much relating to money and your personal worth and value and how much time, energy, and effort that you're putting into things. And that's still centralizing around money. But I feel the repeated past mistake, if you will, is the thought of if something isn't fruitful, then I need to go somewhere else for it to be fruitful, and kind of leaving everything behind. And that's not the case, because I feel with the Three of Swords, I look at the Three of Swords as, your mind attacking your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's moving forward in a logistical fashion, because it's like, oh yeah, I followed my heart, or I did, what I thought I wanted to do, or I was a nice person, whatever, it didn't work out for me. So now it's like I need to say screw the heart stuff. And it's like I need to find a strategic action plan that's going to get me, the money or the job or, the situation or circumstance that's going to make me feel empowered again. But that is very much interrelated to what I said to Sagittarius in their reading. So if you have that in your chart, definitely check it out. But I was telling them that the main lesson of their reading was to not give their power away by finding their worth and value in stuff, things, people, situations, circumstances, right? It's like you finding your personal value like in yourself, or your happiness in yourself. It's not, me having this amount of money is what equals happiness for me, or me owning this business, or me making it to this certain status in life, that's what happiness is for me. You feel what I'm saying? So this is more or less giving you guys an opportunity to catch yourself mid-stride before you end up kind of repeating a pattern by just, kind of throwing caution to the wind, saying screw that, and, going off to something else. Wow. Hello. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Swords and the reverse. And y'all know what I say with the Seven of Swords. What you skip will trip you up later. You know what I'm saying? And now would be the later. But with this Seven of Swords in the reverse, while this is happening, it's revealing your own self-sabotage. It's like all of this stuff is happening this way to get you to see how it is that you've been undermining yourself in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I feel it's by, just kind of tossing stuff out. I feel whatever it is that this is talking about for you guys specifically, because y'all know it's general reading and things. So it's like whatever this is speaking about for you guys specifically, I feel the insight that you're being offered is that whatever it is that you guys have worked on, that and you're kind of wanting to walk away, or you just feel like there's nothing here. I feel like it's saying there is something here. And the key is not to just walk away from it. It's to see that every time something isn't fruitful in the way that you feel that it should be, your first plan of action is to scratch it and start all over. But I feel, like I said in the beginning, don't quit before the miracle, because I feel that there's something here from the time, effort, and energy you guys have put into this point. There's something here that you can take from this and move forward with it. But it's still like the same kind of thing I was saying with Sagittarius, which is like, it's a perspective thing. It's all about how it is that you look at it, So the solution to whatever this is we're speaking about, Leo, and y'all let me know in the comments what that is. But the solution to what it is that we're speaking about here, Leo, it's not in going to something else. It's you taking time to step back and get back to those things I was saying with the Seven of Pentacles, of like, Did you never have an end goal? Did you lose sight of the end goal? Or did you just lose passion for the end goal? But all of the things that you have gained in this process can be recycled and reused for something else in the event that you want to completely change the end goal. So I hope and pray that that's making sense, Leo. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, you know what I'm saying, whatnot, or whatever. But I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.